Hi there, my name is Amanda Cupido, and I am the founder and CEO of Lead Podcasting based in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. We create podcasts for business leaders and enterprise organizations that help them build their leadership profile. We've been in business since 2020, but I've been creating podcasts since 2010. That's right, long before they were as popular as they are today. And I am so excited to be here virtually like this and celebrating this wonderful medium. Congrats to all of you for all the work you've done and for those of you who are award winners. I'm so excited to bring you a little glimpse of some of the knowledge and work that we're doing here and co present alongside two of my team members. So, first off, I'm going to throw it over to Damilola Onime, and she'll be talking to you about how podcasting can be game changing and diversity, equity, and inclusion in the medium. Over to her.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is where you are listening to this from or watching this, I should say. My name is Damilola Onime, and I'm a Nigerian Canadian and a communications professional specializing in audio storytelling. Today, I am going to share some insights on how podcasting can be a game changer for you and how podcasts can act as a powerful personal branding tool. You can use it to build thought leadership, you can use it to build your expertise, and also how you can incorporate diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. Now, I know, there might be some skepticism about podcasting. Maybe you've heard that podcasts are just for hobbyists or podcasts just aren't that serious enough. But I beg to differ. See podcasts like Diary of a CEO, Zero Conditions, The Cheeky Natives, The Kenyan Entrepreneur, Three Shots of Tequila, and even some global examples like the Joe Rogan rather experience, Serial, This American Life, Table Manners. They're all testaments to the fact that podcasts, they're really, really serious business. And if you leverage them strategically, they can help you to build your brand, whether you're an entrepreneur or you're a big named brand. Or, podcasting, I feel, is a very powerful tool that can elevate your career. You can use it to amplify your voice, and you can also use it to contribute to a more inclusive, diverse media landscape. I've sat in countless meetings, with executives, entrepreneurs, even regular folks like myself who are using podcasts in really, really amazing ways. From thought leadership, employee to employee engagement, you're using it to build your personal brand and even using it to generate income. And I know that you can do it too. So I'm going to chat to you about three key areas where podcasting can make a real difference: thought leadership, personal branding, and DEIB. You can use it, like I said before, you can use it to establish yourself as an expert in your field. You can use it to create a powerful and authentic brand that sets you apart from the competition. And diversity, equity, inclusion, how they're essential for impactful podcasts. So we'll start with thought leadership. What does it mean? Thought leadership is more than, being knowledgeable about something. It's more about being recognized as an expert in your field. Someone who offers fresh insights, inspire others, who others also go to for guidance. For instance, I go to Amanda Cupido, the founder and CEO of Lead Podcasting, for guidance on podcasting and also audio storytelling. So I'd say, she's a thought leader in audio storytelling and podcasting. And, being a thought leader can open doors to new opportunities, to collaborations, and even career advancement. And the really exciting part is it is a perfect vehicle for establishing your thought leadership. Think of your podcast as a megaphone for your expertise. And every, episode is kind of like a chance for you to share unique perspectives, challenge the status quo, and spark meaningful conversations. So here's how you start. I'll give you a few tips. Find your niche. Don't try to be everything to everyone. This is a motto that I chant all the time. You really cannot be everything to everyone. So choose that one thing, that specific area, that theme, that topic that you know very, very well. You have a deep passion for it. You're very knowledgeable on this subject. It could be anything from fintech trends in Nairobi, sustainability in Ghana, renewable energy in Nigeria. Talk about something that you know and go with it. Go deep also. Research thoroughly. You don't want to be saying the same thing over and over again. A lot of people, find themselves are caught in this hole where they're just saying the same thing over and over again. You want to interview experts, dive into case studies, stay up to date with the latest trends, with latest developments in that field so that you can chat about it. And also, you want to tell stories. People connect with stories. Use narratives to illustrate your point, to illustrate your ideas. And that, I feel like, will make your content more engaging. And you also want to be consistent. Don't put out an episode today and you don't put out another episode for another year. You want your audience to know when an episode will drop and where. And you can do that by creating a regular publishing schedule, and you want to stick to it. And you also want to engage with your audience. You want to respond to comments. You want to ask for feedback. You want to have a CTA, which is a call to action. What do you want them to do after listening to the episode? For inspiration, you can check out African podcasters like Libo Lion. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that well, but if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I think I am. And that podcast is a go-to resource for marketing and business insights. Or, you can check out those kind of podcasts where, the podcaster or the owner of the podcast, which is a podcaster, is talking about something that they really know very well. Okay, lesson number 2, personal brand. A personal brand is, how you define and promote what it is that you stand for as an individual. Whether you're actively shaping it or not, your personal brand exists. And it is the way that you present yourself to the world, online and offline. It's kind of like your professional fingerprints. Yeah, think about it like that. Digital footprint. This is kind of like your professional fingerprint. It's a unique combination of your skills, your values, your personality, what sets you apart. And in a competitive landscape, you want, to be different from the rest. Now, here's where podcasting comes in. You want to think of your podcast as your personal branding megaphone. It's a platform for you to showcase your authentic self. Like I said before, showcase something that you're really passionate about and something that you know very well. So your podcast again can be, your megaphone for your personal brand and what it is that you kind of stand for. So here are some actionable tips for you to harness the potential of your podcast for your personal brand. You want to define your brand. What are your core values? What are you passionate about? What makes you unique? What sets you apart from the rest? Think about that. And then you want to craft your podcast identity. This includes like your podcast name, your logo, your artwork, your tagline. Infuse your personality into all of that and make sure that they continue to align with the brand. If your logo is say for instance black and lemon, right? That's your color. That's your brand color. You want to continue, with that color. You don't want to then go and put something that, and I'm not saying that you can't, you can play around with other colors, but you just want to make sure that, your brand is consistent, is what I'm trying to say. Which leads me to my next point. Again, be consistent. Be consistent. Consistency is really the key for building and for building a recognizable brand. You want to offer value. You don't want to again be saying the same thing that every other person is saying. You should provide a genuine value to your listeners. And again, engage with your community. I'm going to keep reminding you, engage, engage, engage. Build a loyal following. Building it is very crucial. And, for your personal branding, respond to comments, continue to let people know what it is that you are, what it is that sets you apart, and what value it is that you're adding to their lives. And lastly, remember that authenticity is key. Don't try to be someone that you're not. Instead, focus on sharing your genuine voice and your perspective. It's okay to be risky. It's okay to say something that, that is not generally it's not the general opinion, but just make sure, that you're being careful. And now, the final piece of the puzzle. I talked about it earlier: diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, or DEIB, in podcasting. If you've not heard about it, I'll tell you a little bit about what it means. DEIB means creating a podcast that reflects the rich spectrum of the human experience, of diverse backgrounds, perspectives, identities, abilities. It means making everyone feel seen, respected, and valued, both in front of and behind the microphone. And why is this important? Because when you embrace DEI, when every voice is is represented at the table, you're not just doing the right thing ethically, you're also making your podcast impactful. You're opening it up to the wider audience, you're fostering deeper engagement, you're building a community that truly reflects the world that we live in. You don't want all of your podcast guests to be certain demographic. Open it up, bring diverse voices to the table. Diversify the content that you put out, explore topics that resonate with a wide range of listeners, and don't shy away, like I said earlier, from difficult conversations. It's okay for you to say things that not everyone agrees with, but be careful and make sure that you're being respectful. You want to seek out diverse guests. I already talked about this. Interview people from diverse backgrounds, cultures, walks of life, and that will bring fresh perspective. And use inclusive language. This is something that I see a lot of podcasts they don't do. They don't use inclusive language. Be mindful of the language that you use. Avoid stereotyping people. Avoid harmful generalizations and insensitive humor, because you don't know who is listening. And ensure that you make your podcast accessible. It really is the least that we can do. Provide transcript, caption, audio descriptions for people with disabilities. And this would of course foster an inclusive community. By embracing DEIB, you can transform your podcast into a platform for change, a space where diverse voices are amplified and everyone feels like they belong and they feel seen. I to me, I would implore you, it is a journey that is really worth taking, not just for your podcast even, but for the entire podcasting industry, the entire podcasting community, and just for us as the people generally. So there you have it. That's my spiel. We have explored 3 powerful ways podcasting can transform your professional journey through thought leadership, through personal branding, and building a more inclusive podcasting landscape that reflects the richness of Africa's diverse voices. Remember, again, podcasting isn't just about downloads or popularity. And it certainly isn't about, and rather, it certainly isn't only for hobbyists. It can help you to build meaningful connections. It can spark impactful conversations that really matter and leave a lasting impact. And it's all about using your voice to share your story, your expertise, your unique perspective with the world. We all have a story to tell, and we want to hear it. So I urge you, the next generation of African podcasting voices, to embrace this powerful medium. Take the leap, share your passion, let your voice be heard. We want to hear it. We need more of these impactful voices, and we want to hear it. So, as you embark on this exciting journey, remember to champion diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, and build a podcasting landscape that celebrates our differences and amplifies marginalized and racialized voices and truly, truly represents the richness of our continent. The microphone is yours. What will you say? Thank you for listening.
Thanks again to Damilola for all of her insights.